saw in the media that I requested a trade.
Kyrie was at the heart of the biggest collapse in Celtics history.
Organizations really find themselves in disarray upon his arrival.
Not everybody understood my stance of being unvaccinated.
I think Kyrie Irving should retire.
I cannot be anti-Semitic. I've done some quirky shit in public and some quirky shit behind the scenes.
And you can make it through the fire and still rise like a phoenix.
With the first pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving from Duke University.
When I first got to Cleveland, to be in a city where you got the hometown kid going to the Heat, and then I get drafted afterwards, and now I'm asked every single day, what about Bron? What about this?
I was watching the 30 for 30 on a decision. A year later, I was drafted into that Cleveland emotional train of the prodigal son, chosen one has left, and here we have this 19-year-old kid, I'm 6'2", I'm not jumping out of the gym. Emotionally, I was dealing with things that I had no idea I was
had nothing to do with you.
What's up? 4 seconds left. Oh, Mr. Fourth Quarter, do it to him. Oh, a spectacular move by Kyrie Irving.
When I came in, it was like, are you gonna be better than LeBron? That was my first question when I got into Cleveland.
That's a Houdini. That is a Houdini shot.
Irving again. Kyrie ducks inside, spins it. He had to will it home though. He took them all to the basket that time. Here comes Kyrie going to the horn. Scores! 0.6 to go. Absolutely. Third time is a charm. Here comes Kyrie, one man to beat. Spins it up and in. 5 straight for Uncle Drew and start this second overtime. Kyrie behind the back. Which way did he go, says Prigioni. Oh, he lost him. Trying to lose Thompson, does so. Fires. Got it, tie ball game. Mr. Fourth Quarter comes to the rescue again.
And that's why I came back. I love you. I'm back.
You know, when he first came back, I was 22, 23, so I was just a young kid trying to help Cleveland patch up their relationship with him. Right. That's his home. That's not somewhere where he just goes and vacates. He's from there. I definitely feel like me learning from him helped accelerate my understanding of the game that we're in, the business that we're in, because I was watching him deal with it in front of the camera, off the camera, being LeBron James. That comes with its own responsibility. On the court, this man is a savant. He's a genius. When me and him clicked in 2015, I had one of my best years. You know, I was all NBA third team. You know, shot a high percentage from the field. You know, we were going back and forth at a 1-2, punch.
And yet you come to this team, and this young kid who's never even been on a winning team has the nerve to think it should be his team. With LeBron winds up basically being the distributor oftentimes, being the ball. And Kyrie benefits from that at the end of games. He's the hero. But because of LeBron's personality, so focused on winning championships, he elevates everyone around him, including Kyrie.
Sends it for 3. Oh, Kyrie Irving! Are you kidding me? Took his time. That was. Irving falls down, hangs on, gets it to J.R. Smith. Can't hit the 3. Green with another rebound. And Kyrie Irving is hurt, limping up the floor.
And I ended up with a fractured kneecap, and I was out for 7 months. And you look back on those decisions, and you're like, hey, if I would have kept myself out, would that have been the right decision? Who knows, right? Yeah, who knows, no regrets in that. You know, I went after a championship, and I live with the results.
It's a tough situation to be in, especially, in the finals at the biggest stage. But it's definitely tough right now to comprehend.
And the dream season is now complete. The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions. Their first title in 40 years. Dribbling out, and the Golden State Warriors, with a huge win on the road, take a commanding 3-1 lead in these NBA Finals. The Cavs now in a big hole as they head back to Oakland.
Every game is do or die, and we understand that. And, we're ready to live in it.
I had to go deep within myself to bring out all of these tools that I had learned since, I was learning fundamentals and just put them on display on the biggest stage. And I think that was one of the highest levels of play that I played.
Irving crossover, pull-up, got it. Here's Irving. Steps back, Kyrie Irving. Irving gets free, banks it in, and a foul. Bogut picks up yet another, and Kyrie Irving. Irving, the floater, banks it in. Putting on a clinic. 10 of 12 from the field. Irving steps into a three, knocks it down. Kyrie Irving from downtown. If you're the Cavaliers. James jump shot again. All night long, he's been hitting from the perimeter. Now 15 of 24. Irving slides inside. Thompson right with him. Irving, bank shot is good, and a foul. Kyrie Irving does it again. He's got 33. And Cleveland back up by 9. Steps back, he tries another three. That's good, LeBron James from downtown. He's 4 of 6. Nearly falls, drives now, spins back, tough fall-away shot, it's good. Kyrie Irving, another brilliant shot, it's a 10-point lead. Irving from 3, bang! Kyrie Irving from way downtown.
That Game 5 is one of the most impressive performances as a duo, but to throw up 40s like you guys were against that defense. 2016, you feel like that's the highest level of play you've played?
Drives, James on the throwdown.
Just throw everything out there and hope something lands. So I was just throwing jabs and things were landing against the best. And when you start landing things against the best and you find that rhythm, that's what ended up happening.
And there's the buzzer. Game 7, Sunday night in Oakland. Kyrie Irving nails that one. Irving pulls up, stops on a dime and banks it in. Irving off the glass and one. Gorgeous move from Kyrie Irving. Irving goes to Draymond Green, drives, layup is good. Beautiful move from Kyrie Irving. Irving drives past Green, the foul, shot's good and one. Oh, what a sweet move from Kyrie Irving. That was Barnes' second field goal. Kyrie Irving knocks down a three. Irving having a huge third quarter. Irving drives on Green, gets inside, off balance, comes up short, gets his own rebound and puts it back. Kyrie Irving, the second effort. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection. As we come up on a minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown! And the Cavaliers by 3. It's over! It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Our names to be etched in history, man. Never thought I'd be here.
It was like climbing up one of the tallest mountains in the world, winning the championship. And when I got up there, all the accolades and all the achievements, it feels great to add that to the career, but it just, I felt empty after I done traveled, after I done partied, after I done spent a bunch of money, after I done asked for more deals. You know, I could be the greatest point guard, be skilled, and I was focused on that for a majority of my basketball life. I just wanted to be one of the best to play, but when I started having questions about my life outside of this, it started to seep in and I was becoming misunderstood.
There it is, redemption for Golden State. One of the great playoff runs of all time is complete. The Warriors are NBA champions again.
After the Game 5 loss, he said how amazing LeBron James was. The guy averaged a darn triple-double.
That's the type of guy that I want to be with every single time I'm going to war, because I know what to expect.
And I sat the higher-ups down and said, look, I know y'all have future plans. Tell me right now. They told me their future plans. I said, look, this isn't for me. Oh. That's when I started to become misunderstood, is when I asked for a trade, and everybody didn't realize I was asking for a trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they were like, nah, you asking for a trade. The narrative from LeBron. From LeBron.
Kyrie wants to be the man now. Of course, if he stays with LeBron, he can get 3, 4, 5, 6, but guess what? That's not gonna happen. He wants to be the man now, so he said, I'm going to Boston.
Kyrie decided that it's time, because he did average a career high. That meant to Kyrie, it's time for him to run his own show.
I don't understand this new generation of egos where these guys can't coexist. What do you mean, I need to be the man? First of all, we showed this stat. He's averaging 25 points a game.
He's looking at it like this, Skip. I'm never, ever going to get the credit that I rightfully deserve as long as he's here.
That's what surprised me, that a great player to be, as Kyrie is, that he would have that type of attitude. That surprised me.
Did you inform Bron that you want to leave? Nah, we didn't talk. We didn't talk during that time. I wish I did, because it would have been a mutual understanding of what the future will hold for both of us.
Breaking news coverage of a potential trade between the Celtics and the Cavs. Kyrie Irving going to Boston, Isaiah Thomas going to Cleveland, along with some other players and a draft pick.
Since I asked for the trade and I got traded to Boston, what's up with you and Bron? What's up with you and Bron? Everybody keeps asking the same questions over and over and over again.
Are you enjoying being in Boston?
Yeah.
You like it there?
Yeah, it's new for me.
Very new. What's new about it?
Well, my role, getting an understanding of where I want to be going forward within our team, my leadership role. Moving to a new city, I had to uproot myself 6 years being in Cleveland and going to Boston. There's a lot of newness going on.
Yeah, right.
You know, this Celtics team, they look like they're ready, you know. With the addition of Kyrie Irving, they are going to come out the East. They have a leader, they have a closer, they have probably, in my opinion, right behind Greg Popovich, the second best coach in the NBA. Wow. So I think they have everything needed to be a championship contender. And I think, you know, if they play the Cavs this year, I believe they have enough to do it, and I believe they will win. But I just think Kyrie is the one ingredient that puts them over the top.
He came into this season with a lot to prove. He set himself a high bar by saying, I'm asking off the LeBron team. I want to go do this by myself.
He's not caring about what people are saying. You know, I think he's not really worrying about people saying where he's want to show that his trade wasn't good. It was good for Boston. He wants to prove this and prove LeBron wrong. He's similar to KD. He wants everybody to like him. He doesn't really care about none of that stuff. He loves playing the game of basketball. And right now he's winning, so he does feel good. And I don't think he's worried about proving people wrong. He's just playing basketball.
Yeah, like, I don't think he needed to validate anything. He made that decision to want to get traded. For me to experience what I think is the peak of my career and who I can be as a player, it has to be somewhere else. And so I don't think he ever needed to validate. You can't complain because he is the unquestioned star of this team, and they're winning because of him. And they're the #1 team in the East, and one of the #1 top teams in the league.
Kyrie Irving doing an inch on the defensive line and blocked it out to get free. Put that shot up and down.
What more can you tell us what they found in that knee, Woj?
The Celtics, Irving's doctors, Irving have decided here that his season is over. It's a devastating blow to the Celtics. Their hopes of winning a conference championship, you know, beating Cleveland, Toronto in the East are, you know, they're obviously dim now.
They're starting to get on their feet and cheering for their team that had this improbable run. And obviously now will come up one game short of an NBA Finals appearance because of that man.
You know, this is an experience these young guys have to learn from, but the future is bright. Nobody even thought they would be here one game away for a chance to play in the championship.
The Boston Celtics are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference for the next 10 years.
They're going to win 67 games. They're going to be up by 30 points in a lot of them.
For me, I've got the Boston Celtics head and shoulders above everybody.
How important is it to see number 11 up there one day?
It's quite important, and you guys will have me back. I plan on re-signing here next year.
Whoa!
So, I appreciate it.
Tatum. Fall away, baseline. No. Magic win.
The best thing I can say is experience. We're lacking it, and because of that, we have a lot of learning to do.
And that's part of what is wrong with the Celtics team. Roles are simply not clearly defined.
Well, the Celtics were playing well, but then they got blown out in Miami, and Marcus Morris gives him a little playful little shove.
Marcus said that you guys aren't playing together. Is that a fair?
At the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I feel is best for my career, and I don't owe anybody.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they were not secretive at all. They were videotaped talking in the hallway. Kyrie was the only player to stick around for KD's entire All-Star ceremony.
But all those other guys, Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, they're offensive players. Who's on this team gonna sacrifice? They don't have sacrificable players.
How much blame does Kyrie deserve?
100. Make it 1,000%
Wow.
of the blame. Kyrie Irving was at the heartless heart of the biggest collapse to me in Boston Celtics playoff history. They beat this team, Milwaukee, last year in 7 games, the first round. He was the first Celtic in 53 years to take at least 15 shots and shoot under 40% in 4 straight playoff games. Over the last 4 games, Kyrie Irving shot 30% from the floor. That is hard to do. That's 25 of 83. He's done, and they're done with him also. So onward and upward or downward, because he needs to go to another co-star who can be his leader on and off the floor. That's what he needs.
It's no time to be disappointed. I think that, you take your lessons, you take your ass whooping that they handed us, and you move on.
Kyrie's gone. Kyrie Irving will not be in Boston next year. That's the first thing that jumped in my mind.
If you've enjoyed not only this video, but also other stories from Sideline Films, consider becoming a channel member. Members get to vote on exclusive polls, receive early access to new videos, and much more. Check out more information in the description after the video, and become a Sideline Films member today.
The Nets and Kyrie Irving are going to meet Sunday in New York, and both sides are motivated to get an agreement, 4 years, $141 million.
In October, kind of saying you'd like to go back to Boston. Obviously things changed, and just kind of what changed for you over that time?
It felt incredible in terms of the energy that we were building, especially for the future in Boston. And then things just got really, really rocky for me, and I failed those guys in a sense that I didn't give them everything that I could have during that season, especially with the amount of pieces that we had. So,
are the Nets destined for the NBA Finals?
I believe they are. I really, really do. Kyrie Irving is an absolute showman. This brother will put on a show for anybody. You can contemplate what he might take away or whatever the case may be, but when you look at the talent that they have on their squad.
Can Kyrie help lead that group and put his own ego aside when he needs to, or use it to lead the group, or will he be a destructive force?
They are the #1 offense in basketball. Last night was a display as to why that is, and in order to beat them, you're gonna have to be able to stop them. They are coasting, they're coming out of the East, they're going to the NBA Finals. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again today. Brooklyn Nets going to the Finals. They're going to the Finals.
We see how good James Harden is. With Kevin Durant, they're unguardable.
Well, we've known for 6-7 months now that it was going to be the big 3 in the East.
Is it finals or bust for the Brooklyn Nets? In the NBA today, we put teams together and they win immediately. The expectation is going to be that they win. And if they don't at least get to the finals and lose to LeBron, I think people are going to look at it as certainly not as a success.
They are going to stomp through the Eastern Conference, stomp whoever they see in the finals.
And if they don't win the championship, this might be the biggest bust in NBA history.
If this Nets team falls short of winning the chip, no one in New York or out will give a damn about Kyrie Irving and anything he has to say.
And that's it. The Brooklyn Nets will advance to round 2, and in 5 games, the Nets will advance.
Boy, this is a very physical game as Irving throws it in, goes down hard on his right shoulder as Kyrie Irving holding that right shin.
I had just shot a floater. Bro's foot was right there, and I come down on it, and I felt like I broke my ankle. Yeah. So I was scared. I was nervous. When injuries happen at the height of your postseason, man, that's not something you want to deal with. So that aspect took into play, had to be taken into play. And that was by far my most traumatic ankle injury. I didn't start walking normal probably until like mid-September, into September.
Gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots. Yes! With 1 second remaining. 1 second left. Durant hits a 3. And Milwaukee
definitely toe on the line, and
we might be in for overtime.
Guarded by Holiday. Durant for three. Comes up with an air ball with 0.3 of a second remaining. The Bucks with the 115-111 victory over the Brooklyn Nets. For the Nets, finished 48-24, second seed behind the Sixers, but an injury-hidden season, and it comes down to an overtime loss.
There's just a lot of questions about what's going on in the world of Kyrie, and I think I just would love to just keep that private.
Not everybody understood my stance this year of being unvaccinated or remaining unvaccinated. You know, I was asked in all different types of ways whether or not I was going to waiver. Did I feel like I was letting the world down or letting Nets fans down?
People are speculating about certain stances you have. Why don't you want to clear that up?
Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
It's either you work and get vaccinated, just like, you know, this ultimatum was given to other people, or you sit at home and, you know, now we get to talk about your decision.
Do you expect to play in home games in New York, considering the rules in this state?
Again, I would like to keep all that private.
Mayor-elect of New York City, Eric Adams, says the city will not change its COVID vaccination mandate that currently prevents Kyrie Irving from playing in games.
You can either come back right now or announce quick, fast, and in a hurry. You ain't coming back.
If he decides not to play basketball with the Nets this season, that's basically going to sabotage their goals.
It's a wrap, isn't it?
And that's going to ruin so many relationships within that organization.
Without question.
You would think so, because you came to be with Kyrie. If we get to January 1st, at that point, you just wonder whether he's going to come back.
I can tell you right now, he's a superstar. The game needs him. He's box office. But let me tell you something right now. They're in Brooklyn because of him. They will feel completely betrayed if he doesn't end up back with that team, and it will sever relationships because you got cats to go to Brooklyn. That because the league mandate is what it is, and because 99% of the league ultimately made the sacrifice because they got a job to do, you should have done it too.
Really what I was standing on was, hey, there's a whole community of us, right, that have been labeled as the unvaccinated. I am human. You're human. You have the right to make your own decision. I respect that, and I pray that you respect me in the same way.
He did lose half of his salary. That's one thing that he did do by not playing in home games.
When the conversations do start about you coming back part-time,
the Nets have started that process already for Irving to play in away games.
He is still basically a part-time player because of New York City's COVID restrictions, which at this point are being mocked, specifically with the NBA, with the Kyrie situation, when you can have some people in, visitors in, unvaxxed, but not the home player.
But I never felt like myself throughout the season because I'm usually sustaining a level of growth throughout the year instead of trying to catch up with everybody that's been playing for 4 or 5 months. You know, they've been at it every day since October or September. You know, I was at it maybe September, October. I was healing from my ankle injury. I was still dealing with that. And when we got into training camp in San Diego, I was not expecting, you know, a mandate to be brought down in a way that it wasn't going to allow me to play at all. Like, you know, I had the opportunity to play away games still, but there was no plan in place. There was no vision of like how it's going to work for our team, and I think that really impacted not just me, but a lot of people.
And look who just walked into Barclays, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie unable to play this afternoon, and
he's unable to play, but he can walk into the Barclays Center unmasked.
I don't get it either.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. I mean, there's a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right? Like, they lifted all of that in our arena, right? Everybody out here looking for attention, and that's what I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention.
And their next home game is Sunday against the Hornets, and Kyrie Irving will be eligible to play in that game. New York Mayor Eric Adams will lift the city's COVID-19 vaccine mandate on athletes today.
Jumping in the lineup, jumping out, you know, looking forward. Hopefully that could be something we could fix and move past.
This is the marquee matchup of the first round, and maybe one of the all-time great first-round matchups. Clark, let's start with Boston. In the last 3 months, they've been maybe the best team in the NBA. It's been an interesting year for the Nets, and they finished 7th. But they've got two of the most electrifying players in the game, and on any given night, they can beat anybody. Two teams that truly feel they can win it all, but one of them will not make it out of the first round. Clock at 4. Irving fires away. Got it! A two-pointer for Kyrie Irving.
And I think he saluted them.
of the afternoon. Puts up a three, puts it in. Kyrie Irving from downtown. It's a three-point game. Timeout Boston. Irving drives on Tatum, gets inside, blows past and lays it in. Irving looking, 7 to shoot. Irving step back three, puts it in. Kyrie Irving with the long three-pointer, and the Celtics call timeout. Jaylen Brown kicks it out. Smart fakes. Inside, Tatum spins.
Irving in the right spot. Lost it. Boston ball.
In order to win the championship, one, you got to play together. You got to get to know each other. You got to be healthy. There was a lot going on, with the Kyrie thing. When you are a superstar, nobody cares about the excuses. When you're a superstar and you're a big name superstar, they expect you to win. When you're big name stars and there's high expectations put on you and you don't win, it's a disappointment. We know what superstars are supposed to do. They didn't get it done. It's a disappointment for real. Two best players didn't play well, plain and simple.
This was a bad team this year. And outside of game 1 and 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, Kyrie was a no-show. Look at games 2. Look at game 3. Kyrie was just out there. He wasn't doing anything.
I saw no passion. I saw no refuse to lose. I saw no cold-blooded killer from either Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. I saw no fight last night in the Brooklyn Nets. Saw none.
Durant on the drive, back out. Irving stolen by Tatum. Tatum drives in and throws it down, and that will do it. And a sweep. Boston, 4 in a row. And Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant head into the offseason.
Knowing that we got swept the way we did, and it was probably one of the only times in my career where I felt embarrassed leaving the court. And I had a lot of reflection time, and just gave me peace of mind knowing that there was something more to strive for coming into this next season. There was something, different that we were going to bring this year in this locker room. And it was easy to make that decision to come back because I knew I wasn't willing to give up on something that I hadn't seen all the way through. I had a lot of time to think, and making the decision to come back to Brooklyn was the best one for me, and just figure it out along the way as we get this party started.
NBA star Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets shared a link last week on social media to a 2018 film that's been described as anti-Semitic.
In terms of the backlash, or what people call it, we're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody.
This was what you shared was not something that you've even watched. You did watch it. Do you not understand those that imply that work had anti-Semitic leanings? Still up there, so
We're in 2022. It's on Amazon, a public platform. There's things being posted every day. I am no different than the next human being, so don't treat me any different.
The promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of the title?
By putting it out there, people are going to say that you are promoting.
Yeah, I put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Filled
let's
with
move on.
Anti-Semitic.
Let's
stuff.
move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another
You're
human
free
being.
to post
I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
The Brooklyn Nets suspending Irving for at least 5 games without pay after he refused to apologize for posting a link to a documentary that denies the Holocaust.
Do you think that Kyrie is worth all of this drama?
No, he's not.
It's all in the media that I requested a trade. What are the odds of that?
Adrian, what just happened?
Kyrie Irving and his agent, they want to trade. If he's not traded by the deadline, then he walks for nothing next summer.
What do you think of this trade request?
Idiotic.
87 games. They won a bit more than they lost. They made the playoffs twice. They won 1 series.
That for the last 3 years, missed more than 50% of his games.
You are who you always have been. Kyrie Irving has been the most unreliable alleged star since Stephon Marbury.
But the lack of self-awareness he's showing in this is nuts.
We are less than 2 days away from the trade deadline, but the NBA was shaking at its core when this trade happened over the weekend. Kyrie Irving going to the Dallas Mavericks.
I just know I want to be places where I'm celebrated and not just tolerated or just, you know, kind of dealt with in a way that doesn't make me feel respected. And there were times throughout this process when I was in Brooklyn where I felt very disrespected. No one ever talks about my work ethic, though. Everyone talks about what I'm doing off the floor. So I just want to change that narrative and write my own story and just continue to prepare in the gym. And now that I'm in Dallas, just focus on what I can control.
And now he's got it in the backcourt. Up ahead to Kyrie. He stops. He fakes a shot. Now Luka going back to Kyrie. A pump fake. Steps to the defense. Lost the ball. Going up ahead to Kyle Anderson, and it's all over.
The Dallas Mavericks are an absolute mess.
I only see one team wanting Kyrie. I wouldn't bring him within 100 miles of Luka Doncic.
And when Kyrie and Luka were on the floor together, the record was 5-11 this year.
I don't like what I've been seeing from Luka. He looks depressed. He looks like there's something bothering him. It looks like stuff that's going on off the court. It's stuff that he can't shred.
They just cannot find their rhythm with Kyrie Irving.
How many teams are going to be seduced by Kyrie Irving's talent only to be betrayed by it weeks or months later?
When you fall short of expectations, I believe, what were they, 4th or 5th at, the trade deadline, and then after that, they pummeled to out of the play-in. That is like far below expectations when you have a season where your guy was supposed to be MVP, coming off of a Western Conference Finals appearance.
For me, this is the Kyrie Irving effect. Go back to Boston. If you look at the numbers, Russ, of when Kyrie Irving played for his last 3 teams versus when he sat for his last 3 teams, time and again, teams were better when he wasn't around. He comes into Dallas, that's also true.
To not even potentially being in the play-in, that is a catastrophe.
The Dallas Mavericks will not be playing postseason basketball. Dallas has been officially eliminated from playoff contention.
It has been an ugly reality since they traded for Kyrie Irving, and it ends in very bizarre fashion.
You don't think that the Mavericks should re-sign him, though, right?
But he clearly brings dysfunction, drama on and off the court, and the Mavs are the latest example. Teams don't win. Organizations really find themselves in disarray upon his arrival.
First hour of free agency, the Mavericks and Kyrie Irving have agreed to a 3-year, $126 million deal to keep him in Dallas. This has always been the top priority for the Mavericks this summer. They're able to accomplish it early.
Will the Mavs make the playoffs this season?
Whatever they did last year, they're going to do this year.
Your answer is no.
No.
Defense by Lively, the run by Kyrie. Oh my goodness.
Kyrie will be asking for a trade by February.
By February?
Kyrie or Luka by February.
Dillon Brooks is in. He's got 5 fouls. So Kai's going to have a go right at him. Wow! Exquisite! Nobody in this game.
It's not going to work. Never thought it was going to work. They don't bring enough.
You never thought it was going to work.
Never. Never.
From down 15 to in front by 14. And darting in the paint. Spectacular!
Stop it. They don't bring in a diversity to the table. They don't play defense. They don't rebound the ball.
And what a finish! Kyrie Irving!
He is poison. And they will learn that in Dallas, like they've learned that in Boston, like they've learned that in Cleveland.
That was spectacular.
Oh my gosh. He hung in the air, changed hands, and finished it with the left.
Kyrie and Luka will not work. Kyrie and Luka did not work.
And Dallas with a long rebound, and they've got George backpedaling, and it's Kyrie with the alley-oop finish from Luka.
And the Mavs have secured a spot in the top 6.
Kleba to inbound. Kleba looking in for Irving. Irving for the win! Oh my! A southpaw finish from Kyrie Irving! Just absurd!
You've become like a fan favorite already in Dallas. Just what does that mean to you? Just the fans just embracing you here so far?
I don't use it as baggage that I like to carry around with me. You know, my history is my history. I've done some quirky shit in public and some quirky shit behind the scenes, and I've dealt with like the vilification of that.
Irving inside the layup. Oh! How did that go in? Mavericks take the lead.
I don't feel misunderstood. I just feel like I'm showing who I truly am now and embracing that and living with the results that way, whether you like me or not. I really don't care. It's
Dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer, bang! And a foul!
all that is just part of the process of growing up in this world and growing up in life. So it's no time to blame anybody or hold grudges. I just look at it as an opportunity to help the next generation see that you can make it through the fire and still rise like a phoenix.
You're gonna make me cry, man. Don't do that. Guys, man, all your sacrifices, truly appreciated, and all the words of affirmation that we're giving each other go a long way, man. So keep the positivity going. The job's not finished, but we can definitely celebrate this one. This was hard.
Everybody on this team talks about you being a leader now. When did that switch kick on to you? You're like, you know what? I'm the only one who won a championship. I've got to be a leader.
I would say last summer when we got exited from the playoff contention, and I'm watching my peers go for, a chance to win the golden trophy, man. That big thing, like, it's just, you get motivation from failure and you get inspired. And this year I really just focused on doing the little things, but I wanted to make sure we felt good as a team after every single game and we got to be honest with each other. So for me, I use that as motivation and try to encourage my guys as much as I can.
Nothing's guaranteed in this league, especially making it to the finals every year. We couldn't have done it without a collective responsibility, us working together every single day, practicing hard, doing the little things. So we should reward ourselves by playing hard.
And congratulations to everybody wearing the Mavericks colors tonight, the 2024 Western Conference champions,